My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train 2. We're heading into a Covenant rank 10 run with random everything. Oh, we've got Hellhorned as our lead. We have, what's it called? Lunar Coven as our follow. Hellhorned, oh, and both of them primary. Neither exile, so we have Hornbreaker Prince and Echo. 2 copies of Hidden Passage in the base deck, just a Sender unit, 2 copies of Bloody Moon, 2 Ember to deal 25 damage to a unit, and on Slay, gain 2 Ember, 1 copy of Nightingale, 1 Ember 2 Size, on Stealth, Stealth 2, on New Moon, Multi-Strike 1. I don't like that unit a lot. And Life Mother's Pyre. Adds the option to copy cards at the Merchants of Steel, Magic, and Trinkets. So we're trying to make one card super busted, and then we will try and get a lot of copies of that card. Eternus Scion of Savagery as well is, yeah, our units are entering with melee weakness, so we will need additional armor, usually, between these clans in order to help us deal with that. So, we've got good damage reach courtesy of 2 Bloody Moons as well as the copies of Torch and even Witchweave here in the opening deck. So damage reach is fine for us. Damage scale against the boss, really bad, so that's obviously what the Hornbreaker Prince is going to try and solve. Second area, Merchant of Steel. Ooh, Lunar Coven, Merchant of Steel after that. So I'm very likely to go Merchant of Magic, Lunar Coven in the opening, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up with an Incant or Spell or Cycle sub-theme of some kind, something from the Lunar Coven. I'd like my tank to be from the Lunar Coven. Give me a Spell Sentinel. Alright. So Wrathful is the tank line for Hornbreaker Prince. You put them in the front line, they gain damage when they get hit, and when they slay an enemy, they gain armor so they can get hit more. Not bad, sure, but doesn't really help us scale damage as much as I would like. Brawler is capable of doing that, courtesy of having multi-strike, so all damage buffs that you give to Brawler are effectively doubled. And I think it's easier for me to take that and then look for damage buffs than it is for me to take Wrathful and find ways to support that in these clans. Wow. I'll do it. Odie's Totem. So this is a very tough start because we've got -2 deployment Ember on top of the 4 regular Ember we have. So when we start a fight, we get to play 2 cards and our champion. Or rather, 2 Ember worth of stuff and our champion. Which is going to be pretty hard. Our spells are going to be doing so much of our work here. I wonder if I'm best served by trying to ultra overstack the top floor. Because I literally won't do actual good damage to this boss. My only real way to survive is to have so much health amassed on that top floor that it doesn't matter. Deeply unfortunately, this Spear Steward would die if I placed them on that midline, because they would just get to attack. Well, maybe I need them to attack that Carrying Sycophant. Otherwise, I get to push almost no damage to the Fallen Well, I guess I already get to push almost no damage to the champion in the backline. I think it's probably more important for me to take down this coloring sycophant first than it is for me to deal with this fallen champion more. I can do 3 more damage to you. Not really going to change any breakpoints. Let's give you a little bit of health and a little bit of damage to you. Oh, if I got either of these and then the ability to ascend them as well, that could have been impactful. Okay, so I'm really interested. How do you not lose that? I think the only way to not lose that is to have Nightingale have multi-strike on the turn that the boss gets there, and then have that be the one defended so that it does more damage than the Hornbreaker Prince, because it's doing 10x2 rather than 6x2. I don't really know where I could have accumulated the damage to do anything about it. I guess the way is the other line of the Hornbreaker Prince, but after I had that deck, what was I supposed to do in that fight? I don't know. Oh, good lord. Well, this one's gonna be different. Shartel Queen is our lead. We've got Erratic Assistance and Queen's Impling, so we've got a bunch of units that are ready to die. We've got literally no spells in this deck yet. Bogworm's Growth, permanently add 1 capacity to random floor after each battle. Really good when we got the Queen and all of these units. 2 copies of Fortify, apply 0 Ember to apply 8 armor 8. 2 copies of Potion Kit, 1 Ember to apply 4 health and 8 damage to a unit, as well as give them the ability to brew every 3 turns, mixing and infusion, and Alpha Friend, 2 Embers 3 size, on strike, gain 15 damage. Again, Seraphiturnus have chosen Savagery, so we're going to have to deal with melee weakness. I mean, Shartel Queen's probably going to be our own line, Alpha Friend be's its own line, and then maybe I'm looking for another line that's equipment-based so that I can deal with the outcomes of the Scissorgrafts and the Potion Kits. Seems most likely to me. Let's look at the artifacts first. Increase the number of choices when using Mix by 1. At the end of turn, Unstable increases by 5. That's pretty good. You can find ways to give very small amounts of Unstable to targets, and then that will just let them die as a result of it. Imperialist, on action, kill all imp units, deal 20 damage per imp to enemy units, but there's also just royalty. Rally, gain 10 damage. I can just play her on the floor and then just keep playing low-cost units in front of her while giving her armor. That sounds like a scaling strategy. That sounds like a strategy to not die in the first fight. I'm not embarrassed by it. You're embarrassed. Shartel Queen on the bottom line. Let's get a... Do I want Shartel? Maybe I don't want Shartel Queen on the bottom. Hang on. I think I want her on second. Because I need the Alpha Friend to be guaranteed to strike every round. First and foremost. Blast Infusion just immediately kills both of the backliners for us. Lovely to see it. Hang on. The correct order here, I think, is actually Erratic Assistant in the front line, and then Queen's Impling in the back line, so that I get the ability to project damage line through to the Collector. Spear Steward is not necessary for the top line just yet. Eventual Shard prevents some damage, maybe? It's definitely going to be this mid line that actually does my damage. I'll jump to prevent some damage on the Alpha Friend on the bottom line. I do think double fortify just goes on Shartel Queen, and we just keep focusing it that way. If your stats are high enough, it will be okay. Rage 4? That feels pretty steep. I thought it used to be Rage 2 by default. That's 8 damage you're offering there, buddy. That's premium damage. Hold on to that. Rage 8. 16 damage. Oh, big. Impressed by the 16 damage. I can't remove my backline Queen's Impling, unfortunately, so I can't just spawn a Steward to defend for us, but... There are certainly other ways to contribute to damage here. That'll do it. Welcome to the top line. I have prepared death for you. Tell me if you need any dietary substitutions. Hornbreak. 1 Ember, piercing, deals damage twice. Deals 5 damage twice, that is. Good way to remove my own units as well. Ritual of Battle, applies 12 Rage, Welder Helper. Summon to apply Armor 20 to the front friendly unit. I've got to say, that's a really good way to defend both Alpha Friend and also Shartel Queen. Oh boy. Oh boy. Vampire Assistant. Sorry, Sanguine Assistant. Vampire's Tooth. Grasp Vampire's Tooth, which is lifesteal every turn. Pretty good for growing Alpha Friends, but there's also Overworked Assistant. 0 cost, 1 size. Reanimate 1. Incant. Gain 4 unstable. So as long as I can continue giving you Reanimate and just casting spells on your line, you go sicko mode in terms of damage on the enemies, in terms of AoE, which is something we have a little bit of difficulty with. We can't really reach to the back line at the moment. We have to punch through the front line to get there. Merchant of Steel Lazarus versus Hellhorn. Don't really have spells that we super care about upgrading at the moment because we don't have the base deck. Like, literally, we have 2 copies of Fortify, and that's it? 2 copies of Fortify, and that's it, yeah. So it's got to be Merchant of Steel Lazarus League. It's also worth noting, I really do want someone who cares about equipment, so, like, Quick and Multi-Strike, both available. Pincushion? No Pincushion. Meet Hooks here, though. 1 Ember 2 size, has the ability Hook Hand. Cooldown 2, dazes and advances an enemy. Super useful. And Makeshift Golem. 1 Ember 2 size, armor 12. Extinguish, apply armor 12 to friendly units. Love it. It's great. It's great. It's good. It's great. It's good unit. Shartel and the chump blocks for him. Meat Hook's also pretty good for revealing the right targets to the alpha friend as well. But I haven't... Did you just look at me? Oh my god, you did. I didn't know you could do that. Creepy. Do all the cards move? Have I just been missing this? I guess like the stuff in the backline's doing that there. I thought it was just like backline effects. I didn't think the creatures themselves moved. I guess the Queen's Impling is floating up and down. Yeah, the fire on the shield steward. Okay, yeah, never mind. They're much more dynamic than I thought they were. I'll take makeshift golem and makeshift what I can do with it. Multi-strike and quick. Alpha friend is about to get sickening. 20 additional health, reach 10. I don't think those are relevant to the units that I have. I'll hold my money in heads. Oh. Wait, hang on. Yeah, we're going to Merchant of Steel in the next area again. Did I really think that out well? I couldn't have done much in this Merchant magic anyway, so yeah, I guess we are. Start a battle, enemy units appear on each floor. Look, I'm not going to tell you it's great. I will tell you I'm not going to have too much difficulty with it. I want its money. That's a pretty bog-wormable line. One Queen's Impling on the top line is enough to secure the triple kill. I do want that makeshift golem to die. So Queen's Impling can go behind. Boy, the Energizing Flautist is going to haste people directly past this floor. What the hell? What the heck? What the heck are they doing that for? Sap and regen. Let's start building some sap in case we need to use it against the boss. And do I let an erratic assistant die, or do I just keep them for chumping? I can't keep them for chumping because we're not going to be chumping, so seems like a bad idea. It's worth saying, however... Oh, boy. Seriously? Oh, Overworked Assistant. You'll be fine, then. I'm not going to be able to incant enough to have you explode at the end of the turn. Damn it. This is a real tragedy. Gonna have to lose out on that money. Don't really get too choosy about it. Even if I use this sap, you'll have 8 unstable. At the end of turn, unstable increases by 5. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it a chance that it could actually increase and then go off afterwards. I don't think it will. And it didn't. So unstable trigger occurs, and then unstable increase occurs afterwards. Important to know. Let's just drop a imp unit in the front line. Well to help, but to defend him. Erratic assistance everywhere. Okay, good. You don't get to haste past my line. Unstable infusion makes a lot of sense. Just make sure the backliner goes down. Yeah, quick and multi-strike on an alpha friend is really good, actually. It's actually quite good. It's really rather good. Start taking some sap into their own hands. It truly doesn't matter because the next floor is the killing field. Get him, buddy. That's getting him. Fledgling Imp applies rage to friendly units on summon. I do like having a assortment of imps, but Hornbreak also has a lot of appeal. Just having a single copy of it floating through the deck is quite nice. The Animation Lab, hello. 1 Ember, friendly units get 7/7 on summon and reanimate. I kind of like that. Do I need it though? Twisted Back. Oh boy, that equipment's a lot better though. Gives trample to a unit, and on strike gain rage 2. That's a really good way for me to gain trample for the Shartel Queen. The Alpha Fiend, hang on, you're not even wearing equipment. The Alpha Fiend could even wear that and trample. So good. Definitely need that Twisted Back in this deck. Merchant of Arms, I want graft units early. I don't want my actual equipment, so you're less impactful to me. Did I get a room? No, I turned it down. The Reanimation Lab I turned down. Merchant of Steel with another Lazarus League. Honestly, an equipment that a unit that cares about equipment is still really relevant to me. Dualism, you say? Dualism when we have an overworked assistant. Okay. On your own head be it. Well, there's Pincushion. 1 Ember, 2 size. Equipped, gain 3/3 permanently. Gives me somewhere to put all of these scissor hands. I'm taking Pincushion, of course. I literally asked for the guy, and then what am I going to be like? Actually, now I don't want you. Overworked Assistant is definitely getting this doubling. You're going to get this doubling. Quicken plus 10 damage. I mean, realistically, that could go on Pincushion. Eventually, that will represent a lot of additional health for us. Having a frontline unit that doesn't have to deal with that. Oh my god. Penitence Suit. Asceticism. Oh, actually really good this is. Sorry, I'm Yoda now. Frailty Penance. Fragile. So the unit, if they lose health, they will die. But on Celebrate, after defeating a boss, permanently gain 10 additional damage. And Asceticism. Ember Drain 2. The start of the turn, you lose 1 Ember for every stack of Ember Drain you have, decreases every turn. And on Summon, gain 3 Ember. So you want to put this on a unit that you are summoning and who will also die. I kind of want to put that on a Welder Helper, but the thing is, a Welder Helper doesn't die immediately. It actually sticks around for a second. Because obviously it is armoring a unit. It should go on something like a Queen's Impling, just as a chump blocker who then pumps for energy. And I won't need the energy a lot of the time as well. Realistically, it wants to go on anyone who's ready to die. Yeah, erratic assistants are always going to be played in a position where I'm like, it's time for you to die now. Archeon gains 2 rage on Siphon. Fine by me. Bogwormed the top 2 floors. Interesting. I suppose that means Shartel Queen should be the very top floor now. Pincushion also needs to join the fray. I like Makeshift Golem to support that line. So we basically just have chump blocks and sacrificial units down on the bottom line. Ooh. I suppose Overworked Assistant fits that bill. I'm also gonna... Hang on. Do I summon the Overworked Assistant and then cast a spell? Take a unit off the field, start gaining incant for the Overworked Assistant, get you ready to start exploding on following turns. I don't have that many spells in the deck, so like casting a spell here would be important for that. Or do I chump block with a Spear Steward, gaining some additional damage and chumping on the top floor? I think I need to do this damage. We can chump with Twisted Assistant here, and I will be. Also, I will happily waste potion kits on Pincushion. I'm just focused on growing Pincushion. I'm not focused on getting a big potion. Big potion is way too slow for me to really be able to accomplish. But that unstable stack is really important. So every time I get the ability to make a potion, I will make a new potion and then immediately put the potion down. For the sake of the incants. Oh, that twisted back equipment is going to be so incredible. Scissor Hands on Pincushion. Erratic Assistant. Wow, I've got all except for the Mana Pump Erratic Assistant, but I'm not going to need the Mana Pump from it. I really want to jump on this top floor, but like these Erratic Assistants won't get hit for a while. Just going to set up a chump on each of the floors then. I don't think we go capacity. I think Bogworm's Growth 100% has our back on that. Potion Kit immediately gives us more instability we can apply to a unit. Love to do that. Overworked Assistants finally can explode for the final time, but that's okay. I don't care. I actually actively want that to happen. And heck, I will drop Welder Helper, then Fortify on the bottom line. Just keep a line there. No additional space at the moment, but you'll also know you definitely don't need it right now. And we'll get an additional space after every single battle. Erratic Assistant online where it will die. Nice. So Alpha Friend is also gaining additional rage every time they trample, because that triggers a new instance of strike from the Twisted Back, which is spiking your damage even higher than you're already spiking it just by being. Scissor Hands, Scissor Hands. Hornbreak, but I have none of my own targets to use it on. How heartbreaking. They're absolutely not getting past that middle floor. Uh-huh. Literally, they don't even get outside of the quick phase that starts the round. Wow, these are a lot of options. So, Last Stand, free ember to consume, doubles the amount of rage on friendly units. Very useful. Not really the primary. Like, we could theoretically use it at some point, but not right now. Minds of our own. Their own, rather. 3 ember, equipped friendly units attack immediately, especially good with the Alpha Friend and Pincushion line, both definitely having equipment pretty early. Impalate, though. 1 ember, deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to 20 times the number of imp units in your deck. So that's 120 damage to the front enemy unit. That's a lot. I think I take Minds of Their Own because it gets nuttier than Impalate does, and Impalate is going to get worse when I start removing Queen's Implings from the deck and start focusing on Erratic Assistance instead, because the Assistance will also provide the Pincushion. So Minds of Their Own. No, you give all of the equipment to one Pincushion and then you dupe that Pincushion late. You don't get a second one and then split your equipment between them. Hulking Mass, 2 ember, 3 size. Armor 40, reanimated, gain armor 40. Honestly, sick. Just a big stats man. Branded Warrior, 1 ember, 2 size. On rage, apply... Oh, sorry, rage 5 slay to apply rage 5 to friendly units. Almost entirely irrelevant. Like, it's basically, do I want to take Hulking Mass for the lead for a third line, basically to defend an overworked assistant? I can totally do that. Nothing wrong with that. It's definitely not capacity, let's do it that much. Hulking Mass and Overworked Assistant hit the bottom line, the Pincushion and Alpha Fiend in the middle line, Shartel Queen on the very top, with Erratic Assistants just throwing themselves on the bottom line, which has 1 space, the middle line, which has 1 space free. Actually, 2 space free on the... No, 1 space free on the middle line. I don't need the additional capacity. I do think I need additional draw first. I also think there's an argument to be made for additional Ember, specifically for the additional setup Ember. But I can wait a cycle before I put down the Hulking Mass. That's not a problem. Merchant of Magic, money, and banner for Hellhorn. I'm unlikely to care about the unit in the Hellhorn banner. What would make me most likely to care about it? I actually can't really imagine the circumstance in which I do. There's a lot of trinkets that could appear and I wouldn't even be able to afford them. They could go up to 185 in cost if they're rare. So I can't go to the merchant trinkets. Far too limited. Minds of Their Own, -2 cost the Minds of Their Own, and then I will remove Consume from it as well. So now it's just a 1-cost spell that cycles through the deck. Plus 20 Magic Power and Consume. Don't really have spells for that. Heal equal to my... Wow, I really don't have spells. I'm so glad that I found things that I cared about immediately. Oh, boy. I was about to say, what could make me really care about the Hellhaunt unit on the other side if it was a unit that was ridiculous in our deck at the moment? One of the rare units, maybe. Deranged Brute, 1 Ember, 2 size, rage on friendly units adds an additional 3 damage per stack. Pretty cool. Consumer Crowns, 2 Ember, 3 size. This costs -1 per imp unit in your deck. It's been reduced by 6. It is a 140. 100 damage, 40 health. You just take that, you put that in your deck, and you figure out what you do with it. That's how that goes. Now, I will say, Imperialist as a line does give some additional ability for Shartel Queen to be cycling through all of the imps, and now I'm not going to remove them from the deck. I do need to get rid of them somehow. So I'm going to give her the action to be able to chump those. Chump them? It's not really chumping them. You're not chump blocking with them. Just destroy all of your own units. Oh, hell yeah. A Penitent Prayer is actually really useful for us. Really? Actually, expanding each floor is kind of maybe the best thing you could have done for me. Alpha Fiend and Pincushion both need to go down. Consumer of Grounds is strong when you play it at the start or at the end, so I don't need to really focus exclusively on that. I'm not good at dealing with backliners on the bottom, which is going to be a problem as a lot of them will give curses. So I'm going to need to find a way to reach the bottom backline as well. Yeah, just Twisted. Like, all the assistants are going to die when I play them, which is really good. Let's gain regen, a little bit of support for the Alpha Friend if you need it. I don't need to give my enemies an ability to kill one of my units here. Wait, what? How are you alive? What? Trample, graft, attacking. You are attacking. You're attacking. You have 1 health. The enemy has 4 spikes. Why are you alive? What is keeping you alive? Oh my god. You're alive because the Alpha Friend and the Pincushion kill it before you can do anything. Insane. I need the Twisted Assistant's actual loot before the next fight. So you will go on the top line with the Queen's Implant then. Because I do actually need you to die. Everything else will go same. Yeah, because the Twisted Back is going to be really important for the projection of damage on this midline. Yep. And then everyone else can go wherever they need so that they die. See, these things gain Harvest and Slay triggers, which is really annoying, but they will also get killed before they get to utilize them at all, so I will still give those stats to you. Stacking some Reanimate actually is pretty good. I will do that. Note, if you reanimate a grafted unit, it does not reanimate with its graft still on it, ready to give you the graft again. It reanimates as a base unit without the graft attached. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him. Nice. And then we got Minds of Their Own. We can literally just throw the damage immediately. Love it. Love it so much. Get rid of this Erratic Assistant. We 100% did not need to do that. I just wanted to. This whole line is just going to get eviscerated by the Alpha Friend at the very start of the fight. It's so good. It's so cool. I love video games. Let's just get rid of you two. Yeah, here we are. Hulking Mass bottom line. Erratic Assistant ahead. And that gives me the ability to play... I mean, I actually don't have the space for the Consumer of Crowns anywhere, but the Bogworm will take care of that soon. Pincushion gets stats up. Queen's Impling, some rallying on the top line, and then Madman's Infusion. Give... Hulking Monstrosity, you gain armor when you reanimate, but more reanimating for the overworked assistant. Will cause you to do more AoE damage to all the enemies. Which actually is probably really bad. I don't want you to kill the enemies. It slows down the scaling of the next floor. but I'll let you do it because it literally will not matter because we are so far ahead of curve right now. You can do it only because we are currently infallible. Consumer crowds. Yeah, you can sap my units, that's fine. You can do that all you'd like. Oh, you got me with one sap. Oh. Got him. Pyre Jumper, I mean, look, it's another imp. It's an imp that bumps mana, which is important, especially because I intend to go for another draw relic, and it obviously decreases the cost of Consumer of Crowns. Inferno, piercing, deals 100 damage to all units on the floor. Admittedly, I will say there's a lot of value in that. I could just, like, upgrade that spell, use it on the bottom line consistently, it'd be nice. But oh, Pyre Jumper, Merchant of Steel on the left-hand side, Empyrean Well. There is an argument to be made that duping the Consumer of Crowns is right, because it's big. It's big. Because it's big. And it's next to a Merchant of Steel as well, so I have the opportunity to upgrade it big style. I think I do that. Replicate Array. Remove equipment from a friendly unit, then copy that unit. It's also Fault of Body, 1 Ember, Consume, Apply Fragile, and spikes 40 to a friendly unit. So as long as it's constantly using its armor, it's fine. Replicate Array, Replicate Array gives us the ability to overstack some floors, which is nice. It gives us the ability to just get a second copy of that pincushion, and then I can keep just throwing stuff on them. That's fine too. Insatiable Hunger is also really good though. Friendly units gain Lifesteal 1, gives us the ability to heal the Alpha Friend, despite the fact that the Alpha Friend doesn't really have health support. That's the real problem with the Alpha Friend right now. Like, your health support is that you do so much damage that no one can hit you before you kill them. And that's not something that can last, but also Lifesteal is not really going to support 25 health on a unit. I'm going to take Replicate Array. Merchant of Trinkets, Herzl's Horde. Woof. I'm currently very seriously thinking of turning that down so I can hit a Merchant of Steel for, I mean, obviously, multi-strike, quick, endless. Maybe I could chump with the Consumer of Crowns and then just having another Consumer of Crowns. There's also an argument to be made that, like, the best thing I can do is just get the Alpha Friend, or maybe another Erratic Assistant that gives energy, or another copy of Minds of Their Own, actually, though. Legitimately, another copy of Minds of Their Own might be the most impactful thing that I can do. Merchant of Magic in the next area, Unstable Vortex, Forgotten Boon. So if I hit this Merchant of Trinkets, I miss out on an Empyrean Well. Do I go to the next 2 Empyrean Wells in a row, one after the other, and just double up on Minds of Their Own? Fundamentally, our problem is survivability of Alpha Fiend. So I need to be able to chump block for you very consistently, or I need to get like a reanimating unit in front of you or something like that. If we get an additional Bogworm's capacity for that middle line, I can easily just throw a makeshift golem in front of you. And then Pincushion behind you, Alpha Friend in the middle. Shartel Queen on the top line now just has all of the imps and assistants. Bottom line has one consumer of crowns, and then a bunch of chumps in front as well. That feels very viable. So in that world, I would be duping Minds of Their Own here, then going to the next section, duping Minds of Their Own again, getting 3 copies of it in the deck. How can I use a Merchant of Magic in the next area, though? Oh, sorry, Merchant of Arms in the next area. I guess Armory here, Equipment or Room Guard, I might find something that I want to set up in the opening. Alright, I'm sold on it. Dualism. Interesting. Dualism's pretty good for the makeshift golem. More armor. It's really good for the hulking mass. Makes you a much bigger defender. Granted, unless I reanimate you, it is just 40 additional armor on you. On a unit that I'm not necessarily likely to play as well. Titanite Dualism. Titanite Dualism. I mean, I will note that Titanite and Dualism, both placed on makeshift golem, does make you an incredible target for just defending a line, which I don't think I can ignore. $20 additional health isn't bad on anyone, certainly, but I don't think I need it with what I just did. I'll reroll here. Whoa. 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 Wow. Wowzers. Yeah, I'll make the, I'll make the Consumer Crowns one size, thank you. I would love to give it multi-strike as well. There's actually a really good opportunity here to do that. Damn, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna turn down all of these, skipping it, getting the money instead, getting multi-strike, throwing multi-strike on the Consumer of Crowns. Now I feel like it's probably a worthwhile dupe to get a second copy of Consumer of Crowns instead. Yeah, that feels right. One more imp in this deck. Oh, I did get the 2 that I cared on in the middle line. Hell yes. Hell yes. Alpha Friend needs to go down. Extinguished Golem behind. Love to see extinguished members of society here. The 2 Consumer Crowns, I'll play you whenever. This line does need to scale, so it still needs units to come up there. I could totally throw these 2 Consumers of Crown on the top line, literally. But they'll also be really good for destroying curse units on the bottom line, which will be relevant at some point, obviously not right now. I guess let's take a sap here, more useful for sapping you. Shield Steward blocks. Welder Helper for additional health on the top line, and then we'll lose you as well as they can get that rally. Twist Assistant hits the bottom line. No. That's not how you do it. Hang on. We're fine with incants on the bottom line. I don't care about the actual damage stats of my units down there. So, Twisted Assistant, then I'm going to Hornbreak you. Oh, no, I don't have the ability to play that and the Minds of Their Own. Damn it. I will give you the Twisted back, though, because it's really important. It'll help us push damage we care about. Consumer Crowns for the top line. I'll chump with a Fire Chomper. And also with a Spear Steward. Saving as much HP as I possibly can. Let's also throw away a Erratic Assistant on the bottom line. And then I'm going to Replicate Array to get a second copy of Pincushion. The one that isn't cardless is going to be the one that I need to make sure, yeah, to hit with all of the... you know what? I think I will give the Potion Kit actually to a different unit so that I can keep generating more spells. Specifically because if I can generate Reanimate, so you have to generate Regen first, but if you generate Reanimate after that, it'll be really useful for the Makeshift Golem. Obviously, I'll burn out anything that isn't those. Oh, get an Erratic Assistance. Perfection. Yeah, we slay with such haste on that second line that there is no way we need to worry about ramping up these enemies at all. +3/+3/+3. Yeah, look, I'll always want to avoid 1 damage if I can. Sometimes there is exactly 1 damage between you and the win. I'd rather be on the right side of that 1 damage, please. Good lord. That was 1 Minds of Their Own. I'm ready to dupe the second one. That's coming. Thank you for the armor. I mean, how do you turn down the Infinite Box in an Imp deck? Organ Harvester. 1 Ember, 10 damage on Slay, gain Reanimate 1. I like it. Do I think that I'm likely to get many Slays with the Makeshift Golem? No. The answer to that question is no. Now, Overworked Assistant, you exploding though, you exploding with your unstable and dealing damage to all the enemies on the floor, does that count? Will you get Reanimate from that? Only one way to find out. Acid Shower also would have been really good on courtesy of Catalyzing Agent. The penance has been completed. Erratic Assistant gets Ascetic Absolution. Now no longer has Ember Drain, but because I want the unit to die immediately after summoning it, it doesn't matter to me. It may as well have Ember Drain. Replicate Array is probably the spell that I care the most about upgrading at the moment. Infinite Box removing some Consume would also be nice, but Emberian Well duping either another Consumer of Crowns or another Minds of Their Own would be huge. Merchant of Arms. Organ Harvester? No, the Overworked Assistant won't even be summoned on that turn yet. God, I'm leaning away from the Empyrean Well again. Merchant of Steel, Merchant of Magic in the next area. I'm pretty likely to go Merchant of Magic in the next area as well. Removing 2 cards from the deck, getting a little bit of money. Fine. It's much more realistic options. I'll remove some cost from Replicate Array, Permafrost, hold it for the right time. Magic Power, I'll throw that on Hornbreaker literally just so that you are ready to remove pretty much any unit. Holdover? No. -2 cost gain consume. No. Remove consume would have been on the table. Double stack. Not double stack. Remove consume. Spell chain. Both would have been really good. Certainly pretty much only those two, to be fair. Unstable Vortex. It's worth noting I can't remove any of the imps from the deck, so I'm not going to. However, our draw will become a lot smoother if I take this opportunity to remove 2, 3, maybe 4 cards from the deck. Cards that I simply do not intend on playing. The closest to that right now is Fortify. I'll hold on. Kale is giving a bunch of damage to his friends. Don't like it when he does that, so I'm going to probably pop some Consumers of Crown on the bottom line. Yeah, I'm going to have to assemble the second line. I'm going to start with my bottom here. It's really impactful that I have a frontline unit that's actually able to tank the damage here, because I'm going to be getting a lot of corruption. Interesting. Hulking Mass, you're basically never going to get to Slay, but if you did, your Reanimate would be really good. Also, Pincushion does need to be played on the next line. While I do want to give you permanent statistics, I want to keep the Potion Kit, and I want to keep the Organ Harvester as well. So I won't play them on you because you obviously have to get rid of your equipment later. Start building Unstable. Actually, no, I'll use this to make sure the Cherub dies as well by projecting damage backline. Oh. Well, look, it's... Honestly, I think I could win the fight without her, but literally I should have just chump blocked with her on the top line. It's not a problem, I can just do that. Consumer, Hulking Mass, Shartel hits top line, and then we just remember that it might actually be a good idea to keep her alive. There we go, that'll do it. Pincushion, Organ Harvester... pull for Unstable, throw the Unstable on the right target. There goes the Nourishing Cherub. Whew. That's how we wanted that to go. I do want to jump for this line, but I can do that with an Erratic Assistant. Scissorhands here. If I use Minds of Their Own... No, wait, actually, it would be Replicate Array that I'd be scared of using. Never mind, we're fine. Both of you will attack with that. I can do that on the bottom floor as well. I'd be more compelled to do it on the mid line if I had the Alpha Friend there, obviously. I'd like to keep the hulking mass alive for another turn if I can. I really want Twisted Assistant as well, though. If I Hornbreak the Nourishing Cherub, because they all attack, and then I respond, hit, 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 slay, 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 slay. So if I take out the Nourishing Cherub, I get to push 100 damage to the boss. Okay. Damn it. I was about to say, I really hope that I draw the Alpha Friend this turn. Pretty impactful with the Twisted back if I could have gotten it. Makeshift Golem comes out for the midline. Imp in the box offers us some help for the top. There's the Reanimate for the Hulking Mass. Good to see it. I can throw Overworked Assistant on the bottom line as well. Start reckoning with that. Drop an Erratic Assistant on the top line just for a mana pump and rally, and then a bunch more imps up there too. That'll do. I'm holding Twisted back in this deck until I have Alpha Friend out on the field. Not playing Alpha Friend in the first cycle is really punishing if he's at the bottom of that cycle. Really deeply punishing. So I'll have to think in the future if that's actually an appropriate idea for us. Rage and Sap, don't really care about that. I will hit a Sap because I can. Just want that to be spawning Reanimates, please. I love that I'm focusing so much on this line that he's almost never seeing combat. Courtesy of the bigness of the bottomness. Oh no, we gave it spikes. Now all my assistants will die. Replicate Array to get another of the big dudes. Start with regen. We're obviously looking for the Reanimate again. Nice. Reanimate for our armor provider. I mean, I could kill you now if I really wanted to. Get 40 armor for everyone. No especially good reason to do that, though, so I'll just throw away some damage on this bottom line and let him hit me. Oh no, there go my consumers of crowns. Will minds of their own to attack before the round even begins, and then armor up and complete our job. Perfection. Friendly units gain spikes 8 on summon and reanimate. Does make the chumps on the bottom line a lot better. Alloy of the Ancients consumed to apply armor 25 to a single unit. Admittedly, sometimes what you just need is a lot of armor for a single unit. Another copy of Minds of Their Own. Realistically, with the copy of the Minds of Their Own that I have in the deck, being as upgraded as it is, I'm just going to want to dupe that, or I'm not going to want that. It's... Is that true? It's so powerful. Also, am I going Ember after this? Because if I draft another Imp unit, obviously the Consumers of Crown become free. I'm going to take Minds of Their Own and see what I'm doing after this. I think there's a meager argument to be made here for Hell's Flame, just for the setup. But I think I have more ways of invalidating that setup. Literally, if I draft one more Imp, that's done. If I dupe an Imp, that's done. It gives me 2 additional setup Ember, basically. I'll take Limbo Solace. Merchant Magic, Merchant of Steel. We've hit most of the upgrades on Steel that we could really care about. Like, realistically... Endless on Welder Helper or Pyre Chomper. And wait, I'm Life Mother's Pyre. I can dupe. No, I'm not Life Mother's Pyre. I'm Bogworm. It looks kind of similar. Yeah, it's just Pincushion with multi-strike, basically. Versus Merchant of Magic, which now does have a couple good targets. Consume removal for Impeter Box. Spell Chain for Impeter Box. Cost reduction for Minds of Their Own, even Holdover I would take. Cost reduction or even intrinsic cost reduction for Replicator Ray would also be good. Just a lot more I can do over here. Yeah, we'll increase the rally rather than increasing the AoE damage from Imps dying, especially because it doesn't really trigger. Double stack. Not really relevant. Negative 2 cost and consume. I'll throw that on Minds of Their Own, just in case I can also remove that consume and just keep a low cost on it. That'll do it. Remove consume from Minds of Their Own. Then intrinsic and reduce cost on Replicator Ray. Am I okay with doing that? I don't think so. I'm not necessarily likely to have the equipment on it just yet. Maybe I don't need an intrinsic upgrade here. Maybe just 10 more damage for... Card. Oh, hang on. Obviously not Shroudspike because I have no morsels. 1x Sap, 5x Frostbite. No, it's going to be the Awakened Railspike. Of course it's going to be the Awoken Railspike. Have you met me? I'll take it. And then... -1 cost and intrinsic it, and I will give the 15 magic power to Love it. -1 energy per turn. Admittedly, pretty annoying, but I can absolutely deal with that, and the 400 gold is definitely going to be worth it. Abilities don't have it on this floor, so Fire Chomper wouldn't. Good. Our Pincushion setup. Perfect. Annoyingly, the Deafening Herald is silencing the floor, so I'm not capable of killing the Twisted Assistant on the bottom line. If I sack it there, it will just die. Without giving me any equipment. I do want Welder Helper to drop on the top line, but more importantly than that, I think I need to get Twisted Assistant on the top line and then draw with the Awoken Rail Spike, looking for one of the ways. There's Hornbreak. There's exactly one way in my deck to kill that Twisted Assistant myself. Also, Potion Kit Minds of their own. I can force the Consumer of Crowns to attack twice. I don't want to do this and then figure out what cards I have and then go back. So I'm trying to figure it out beforehand. Do I want the Twisted Assistant on a different line, or am I going to have to focus on killing it myself? I think I have to focus on killing that unit myself. I think I'm probably best served by hitting the giant rail spike now. Great. Let's go Consumer of Crowns. Then Organ Harvester and Minds of Their Own, I'm feeling. Saves a lot of HP on the bottom line, guarantees that we push through the damage that we need. Replicate array without anything to replicate, unfortunately. Drop a couple imps on the line, then Overworked Assistant in the back. Erratic Assistant in the front. And then I'm gonna dupe a Consumer of Crowns. There we go. Makeshift Golem for the midline, help support their health. Erratic Assistant. Unfortunately, I can't play any more on that line. I would love to, though. Potion Kit. I could get Silence on the bottom line, so I'd like to avoid having to deal with that. There we go. Yeah. Good potion from that kit. Guess I'll also throw another Erratic Assistant on the top line. Having a couple more cards to be able to slay my own units would be really nice. Hornbreak. Hornbreak on the Deafening Heralds. Or I could just ignore that and get the card that I care about so much that I keep complaining that I don't have. That seems like maybe I should do that. Trample back. Got him. Now the Alpha Friend is uncontested and is going to live forever. Does the Graft Sever count as an extinguish trigger that the silence can prevent? That's a good question. Let's find out. No, it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't count as an extinguish trigger by base, but does it count as a trigger, rather? I mean, God, I could throw Scissor Hands on this line and then just let Minds of Their Own do its work, but also I should really do that for the unit that gets permanent growth out of it. Ooh. Looking for reanimate. Complete miss on that. There will go our front line. It's okay though. We have more than enough of you. Nice. Root for reanimate. Got it for the makeshift golem. I'll probably play that next turn rather. Well, I could expedite removing a unit. Realistically, I just want to be able to attack as many times as I can here. Let's prevent the silence from coming up to the next floor then. And gain some additional armor on the bottom line, why not? Yeah, unfortunately, the Alpha Friend has had very little opportunity to scale because the bottom floor has been so viciously killing all of the enemies. And that's got to end now. Great work, Molting Imp. Let's also just throw Hulking Mass on that bottom line, actually. I don't want to incant down there. But we can absolutely get this done. Hell yeah. Minds of their own. And keep those minds of their own. Hit them again. Perfect. Rage Serum consumes to apply Rage 5. Not really relevant. Branding Right, deal 5 damage, and apply Armor 20. That's a really good, like, I could use it to defend a unit, but I could also use it to kill a assistant. There's the Electricity Chamber yet again. Friendly units gain spiked 8 on Summon and Reanimate. I do like that. I think I should probably just have a copy of that and then throw it down on the bottom line and then be happy with it. Insatiable Hunger, friendly units gain Lifesteal 2. That's also really good for the consumer line and the mid line as well. I think I need a copy of this more than I need the other. Merchant of Arms is the side that has the dupe, eh? Like, I think I need the dupe because I didn't get another imp, but if I just dupe like it'll probably be a Welder Helper. If I dupe a Welder Helper, I now have both of the Consumers of Crowns free on the first turn, and that matters. That matters a whole lot. First time each turn. Oh my god, summon triggers an additional time. Love that. First time each turn, a friendly unit is equipped. Gain 1 Ember. Love that. Friendly units gain additional damage on Slay. Love that too. Reroll. After deployment phase, summon a random unit from your deck on each floor. I don't really want to do that because it'll... how's my setup, right? Bottom line is Consumer of Crowns, Consumer of Crowns. Midline is Alpha Friend behind Makeshift Golem with Pincushion behind. So that's my 4 Ember, both Consumers of Crowns, and then Shartel Queen goes on the top line. So that's it, right? And then after that, it would summon one to the back line. It's gonna put assistants in positions where I can't kill them. Unstable Explosions deal twice as much damage. Friendly units gain armor 14 on reviving with Reanimate. That is pretty relevant to me, but let's have a look at other things here. Merchant of Arms. Overgrowth Carapace! Boo, 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 boo. Resolve, gain 1 size. Plus 20 health and plus 20 health. Sorry, plus 20 health and plus 20 damage if there's any space still available. The Consumers of Crown can obviously wear that. Just getting plus 20 each turn, which is pretty good. I'll take it. And then I'll dupe. I mean, there's a good argument to make for another Consumer of Crowns instead and just going all in that direction, but I'm going to go for a Pyre Jumper, actually. And then remove a card from the deck. Those fortifiers really haven't had a place in this deck for a while. Serif Aeternis. My units enter with melee weakness 2. Gotta remember to chump block in this first turn. Gotta be ready to remember to chump block on this first turn. That's what I mean. Excuse me. Good lord. Alright. Get this middle line supported. Shartel Queen. Okay. The Chosen Assassin in the backline is obviously a huge issue. It's going to be pumping through really, really big damage. Top line, erratic assistant, jump blocks, we're fine. Wait, did you just give me energy? What happened? Oh, literally you were spawned and you are equipped, so you gave me energy. Because you're a craft unit. Like, I can drop 2 potion kits on the bottom line and then hit Minds of Their Own and do 400 damage to the Avowed Gladiator. But 9 gets triple, 27, you strike 3. It's the Chosen Assassin that's obviously the problem. Like, this is possible. And it reveals the Chosen Assassin, who will then be killed next turn quickly, which is fine. But we lose one of the consumers of grounds immediately, and the second one is sickly for worse for wear as well. We have to jump block with an erratic assistant on the top line, otherwise we lose our top line. We can get enough health for the consumer of crowns to survive the line. Interesting. I wonder if I'm now best served by hitting the Awoken Rail Spike deep draw. Alternatives, double potion kit. Next turn, the quick units die. They just do, right? You come up to the next floor, you've got 100 health on you. Oh, actually, that's a problem. I don't really want you coming up to the next floor with 100 health on you. Because then it's 1, 2 from the Alpha Friend, Pincushion attacks as well, and then the Ragewing Assassin and Chosen Assassin still get to a strike. If I drew Erratic Assistance from the draw, that's fine. They just go on the bottom line as chump blockers. If I drew Carapace, oh god, there's not actually a lot of things that really help right now. I suspect I might be best served by throwing a potion kit on the line and then Minds of Their Own. Because now I've at least guaranteed that I will be able to get through to that backline assassin. With the Alpha Friend and Pincushion, so that will die. Woken Rail Spike draws. That's annoying. A unit who is built to be reanimated. Who will actually just die triple here. That's okay, though. Hollow bottom line, I see you. God, those rage wings. I'm redoing that second turn. You definitely have to be there. You definitely have to be there. You definitely have to be there. Hulking mass as a defensive unit makes a lot more sense. So does makeshift golem. Because when it dies, it will be able to provide armor to both of the consumers of crowns. Which is kind of what we wanted the middle line to do, but if we're using the bottom line to try and push through Rage Wings, like the Alpha Friend's not going to be able to do that by itself. Could the Consumer of Crowns maybe need to go on the same floor as the Alpha Friend? Like, is there any argument that makeshift golems there? Alpha Friend. And then Pincushion is its own line. I think this might be necessary, actually. So, still jump for the top line. And then I think double potion kit was right. And I do think, like, just force the double hit as well. I could also just throw Organ Harvester so that I can do an early hit here as well. We managed to take you all down, and then the Alpha Friend will even be able to finish off the next two units before they go. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do that every round. And then Overworked Assistant, I need you to be ready to die on other lines. Right? I throw you down on this bottom line, I can try and give you... Well, actually, it really depends. What do I get? Oh, I did get regen, so I might get more reanimate. But I should realistically give the reanimate to the makeshift golem instead. Good work to the Overwatch assistant, who is now exploding. Hawking mass, 100% necessary. Get some additional armor, I guess. Do I want that? Is there a two-sizer that I'm going to put on that floor anyway? No, not really. Replicator Ray is ready to dupe someone. Duping Alpha Friend with the fast attacks on the bottom line, I think, is probably much more impactful than getting a second pin cushion right now. But if I incant on that bottom line, I lose my backline because I give too much damage to the Ragewing Assassins. So then the only choice can be duping Pincushion on that second line. If I want to be able to use Pincushion this turn, which I do want to be able to use Pincushion this turn. Thank you for the huge amount of armor that you just gave all to my units, helping them survive a wee bit longer. Twist Assistant 100% does need to die. Gonna hit that bottom line. Along with some erratic assistance. I'll let them attack. They're still gonna die. There's the Rage Wings are not going to be a problem in the next fight. It's this fight that they're a problem. It's this fight that I have to rejig my entire board for. Good thing I could take out that Rage Wing with the Hornbreak. I gotta think about that, actually. Seraph Eternus, if you are the Chosen of Savagery, I should consider trying to have a 50 damage spell. Because if I think about that from the very start of the run, I can definitely make that happen. Actually, hang on. We want unstable there. Rest of the line goes the exact same way, though. Mm-hmm. Can keep that. And then we're going unstable on the Rage Wing. And then I'll draw out a Sap Shot. Chump block with 2 Erratic Stewards, and we'll let that one roll. You're not getting the triggers I need you to get yet. No incant triggers on this floor. I mean, Minds of Their Own immediately solves all of our problems down here, and that's why I have it. I'll also use Insatiable Hunger first for the lifesteal. Perfect. Though I could use the Overgrowth Carapace at this point, I'm not going to. I do think Welder Helper for additional health on the bottom line makes a lot of sense. I also think a Fledgling Help to just chump block with some damage on the bottom line makes also a lot of sense for us. Perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. Minds of Their Own on the bottom line, and I collect a bunch of rage for it. Oh, I don't get reanimates anymore, of course, because you're not wearing the same equipment. Oops. Two waves remaining. You need some additional health. Yeah, Rage is not what I want to be building here. Unstable, Sap. Closer to Sap, I guess? Thankfully, Minds of Their Own actually kills all these enemies, so I already get the Rage Wing Assassin down, so I don't have to worry about sapping them that much. No more damage for me. You know what? I'll let you kill the Shartel Queen. Enjoy. It's the last kill you ever get. Minds of Their Own. And one more. Even sap the boss. Keep him healthy. Good work, Alpha friend. Good work. 766 damage. Only 130 of that, 128 of that is from the Rage. All the rest of that's good old... Well, 15's also from the Twisted Back. All the rest of that is good old striking damage. I suspect that fight will be significantly more damaging to me, or will prove to have been, rather, more damaging to me than the final combat here. I feel like the melee weakness really set us up in a position where we had to play from the back. I will say, I don't dislike Makeshift Golem on the bottom floor. Alpha Fiend definitely needs to be out. So does the Makeshift Golem. I'll chump block for the consumers for a while. And I guess I'll summon Pincushion too. Oh, hell yeah. Overgrowth Carapace that I can actually use. Love it. God, I would have loved one of the double energy pumps on the first turn, if only. So your damage is trample, which is obviously real annoying. But if our frontline unit takes the damage, or rather takes the corruption from Dominion, that'll be helpful. I do think getting the gear from the Twisted Assistant as soon as possible is really important. So 2 sacrificial units on that bottom line easily. I also really want to support the health of the unit on the bottom line, so I'll give 20 additional health at the end of this turn to the Consumer of Crowns via the Overgrowth, and then Woken Rail Spike only gets to draw 1. You? Oh, that's so annoying. It drew a very good card for me, but unfortunately... unfortunately, it only draws... Unfortunately, the card that I want is in the opposite order. Like, I need the energy before I use the draw, but I have to draw to get the energy. Alas. We don't have speed to play any slower than this, so we just do that. I could replicate Array on this bottom line in order to get another Consumer of Crowns. It's not a bad play, as we saw earlier. It is just another unit. But, like, it could be another Alpha Fiend after they've grown, or another Pincushion. I'm gonna leave them today. Yes. Alright. Skizzahands. Skizzahands. Trample back as well. Gotta love it. Throw down Erratic Assistant on the bottom line. And no incant, so input a box. Perfect. Well, is it perfect? Do I cry this? Hold up. You still... all of that stuff still happens. We'll... input a box. But I'm going to use the Weld Helper to support the health of the Consumer of Crowns on the bottom line. Then we can go Erratic Assistant in front. Potion Kit makes your line much more threatening. Ooh. Last Infusion. My Fire Chomper is my chump block on the top line. Last Infusion on one of your units. Then if I Branding Right that unit, it'll trigger the instability, killing both of the Misshapen Fiends, meaning that their corruption will go on the unstable assistant instead. Oh. Hit the wrong target with the spell. Oops. Okay, again, everything else completely the same. Motion Kick gets unstable, and then... boom. There we go. And we'll give the Pylite some additional damage, let it attack. But you know how it goes. There goes the premium defender for my midline, unfortunately. Thank heck, Hornbreak drawn at exactly the right time. Get him. I don't really have a good way of keeping the Shartel Queen alive. I also don't really have a good reason to keep the Shartel Queen alive. Go for Insatiable Hunger on the bottom line, try and support their health. I need to get both of these Discordant Tolls out of deck. Because otherwise I'm just going to redraw them again. Highlight's important, but I think I'm probably going to have the most concern against Savagery in the long run. No, I can't give up on the highlight damage here. I'll just take 3 and shuffle Discordant Toll back into the deck. That's got to be how it is. That's got to be how it is. Queen Zimpling is huge on that midline right then. I can avoid the sap just by not playing the Curses of Entropy and letting them hit me. I think I'm actually probably better served by letting them hit me. Well to help, it needs to help this line, I think. First things first, I want Overworked Assistant and then some abilities played on its floor, but unfortunately the Chosen Ardent, non-boss enemy units on all floors. Oh, that non-boss enemy units. Okay, that actually won't hit that many things. So if I use Pilot on this line, that's a spell cast. Perfect. Now when you explode, which you'll do multiple times here, you'll be able to kill all of the enemies. Handy. Literally, I'll do anything that allows me to keep the Alpha Friend alive for another turn. I do think I need the damage as well. Alright, so I hold here, or do I drop the Goliath Infusion? I think I dropped the Goliath Infusion, to be honest. One health. We are down to 1 health on the Alpha friend in that mid lane. Obviously, lifesteal's nice, but it only gets us back a certain amount of health. Uh-huh. Minds of Their Own on the bottom line doesn't really do too much. Does 600 damage here in the mid line. Obviously, pretty much clears the bottom line, though. I think I need to take this damage while it's on the table. Just push directly at Entropy. Same thing for Dominion in top. And again, I don't think I can take that Curse of Entropy sap. I think I have to let it do the damage. I still have my Juke in this deck somewhere, right? Yeah, I do. It's for Pincushion now. Can I even protect the consumer crowns on the bottom line? Because if I can't, I don't need to spend anything down there. I don't think I can. Which is admittedly a problem. We are very quickly running out of the rest of our damage-based resources. Start get actual buffs on them that are relevant to them. Gotta play my Pyolite. I will use Insatiable Hunger on the bottom line, but I won't use the Fortify there. And I think I'm now at the point where no, I'm not going to play this Curse of Entropy. I still need to be able to push as much damage as I can against Savagery and Entropy over the course of the next 2 rounds. It's all falling apart now. Minds of Their Own is a decent amount of damage, but it's not going to save me. God. Oh, this feels so bad. I'm certain a win was available. This was just not the way to get it. These three going to the top line will kill me. Can't push enough damage backline to Entropy to do anything about it. Yeah, we're dead. Damn it. I think a different orientation of floors might have been it. Maybe Shartel Queen needed to be on the bottom line. Alpha Friend definitely needed to be in the mid still, and then the top line could have been the consumers to be able to finish taking out units. So then I guess the idea is that the Shartel Queen line... what? How do you deal with backline enemy units? Not especially well, but the Consumer of Crowns were only really doing that by just punching through to get to them. So instability is still the same, I think. It's just instability plays. Well, we've done what we could. Hang on. Let's do slightly more of what we could by throwing mines of their own on the midline. Perfect. See, now we're fine. Oh, it's gonna be easy. As soon as we get them back to this line, we'll be able to... What? We're dying? Absolute shame. Welcome to the top floor, those who will kill me. Take these eyes to see the truth. I'm afraid I'll only be seeing the inside of a coffin. Lazarus League managed to make it to level 10, though, over the course of this, and that's worth applauding. They unlock the Tomb of Horrors. 3 Ember to consume, apply Unstable 50, and reanimate 1 to the same unit. Super cool. We mastered a couple of cards because they did manage to beat the Seraph. They just did not manage to beat the Titans afterwards. Does that mean we get story? No, it does not. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody, the name of the game. Well, you better believe it's been Monster Train 2. Top Left is a series playlist from my content of the Game Pass person. Huge YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming pass are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Add above the thank you, and a special thanks this episode to Disney Mia. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves, and hope we'll see you all next time.